I may look on my samples on my sheets and see, but see all of these walls, these ceilings here, that's going to be that eggshell color, or eggshell finish, the will-o'-the-wisp. And see all this? And so even if I use 3.5, 4 gallons, then I've got an extra gallon for the garage or something, you know. So I'm just going to get the 5. I'm pretty good at guessing, but you know, measure everything up, measure all your square footage. You know how to measure square footage? Length times width. So measure your wall. Let's say that's 12 feet. Just as an example, okay? Let's say that's 12 foot long, and let's say from floor to ceiling is 10 feet, okay? So then you would go length times width. So you go 12 feet times 10 feet. That's 120 square feet. Let's say this is a solid wall with no windows. So you got 120 square feet. Then you can measure the next wall. Then you can measure the next section. And then you can add it all up, okay? If you got the window in there, you can subtract. You can subtract for the window. If it's a 4x8 window, that's 32 square feet. 4 times 8 is 32. Subtract that from 120. Get it, okay? Same thing with your doors. Let's just say it's 2.5 feet, 3 feet wide, 8 foot tall, 6 foot 8 tall. 3 times 7, 21. It's about 20 square feet right there. You know, on one side. 20 square feet on this side, 20 square feet on the other side if you're measuring. See? Then add it all up, go to the paint store, tell them how many square feet you got, and then they'll tell you approximately how many gallons. And you know, it never comes out. It never comes out. Either you're going to have some left or you're not going to have enough. So you always want to make sure you get a little extra. If you need 4 gallons of something, get a 5. If you figure 6 gallons total, you're not quite sure if 5 is going to be enough, maybe just get the 5. Start with the 5, knowing that towards the end, you may have to run back to the paint store and get 1 gallon. Or maybe your 5 gets it. But then here's the other thing. If you get a 5-gallon container and you have just a little bit left, you pat yourself on the back, well, you always have to remember you want extra at the end of your project so you can store it in your garage or something like that for paint touch-up or whatever. At this, when the whole job is done, I'd like to have maybe 3/4 of a gallon left of the walls, maybe a 1/2 gallon left or so for ceilings, 1/2 gallon to 1/4 gallon left for my door frames and my window stools and my baseboards. You see what I'm saying? You always want a little bit left so that you've got it in case you need it, or you've got it and you're like, hey, we're going to be doing a project down the street. Let's use that same color we use on the walls. And then you go into your garage and you look, and sure enough, you got the paint color on your paint can. I would still write it down and put it somewhere else too, in a folder or on the internet, in your notes, on your phone, something like that. Because lots of times, if you pour on your paint can, some people pour on the paint can and they pour it out and then they wipe it and stuff, and they wipe right over the front of it. So whenever I pour from the back side. So if the paint does drip, it's not going to drip over your color code. Sometimes they have a tag there or on the top or something. Not over the front, because you start getting it on the front and then you wipe it off with a paintbrush, and now all of a sudden it's like, what color was that? You know what I mean? So this is what I'm using on the door frames. I told the Home Depot, I says, I want the whitest semi-gloss interior enamel paint you have. Latex enamel is what it is. And here it is, paint primer in one. And he said, this is the stuff you want, ultra pure white. That's gonna get this as bright, as white as I can. And they pick it right up off the shelf, and then all they have to do is shake it. They don't have to put anything in it. So, you know, if you want to guess on stuff like that, get an extra gallon. If you don't need it, and at the end of the job, you got a gallon and a quarter left, take the gallon one back because you never opened it and you bought it and it was not, they didn't have to mix it with anything that came right off the shelf. So that's what I'm gonna do for the white. You know, I could get another gallon. I've got a gallon. I did all the doors, and I got maybe a third of this paint can left of paint, and that's not going to be enough. I know I'm going to have to get into the other one too, because the ceilings in the bathrooms we're going to paint white, and we're not going to use the flat white. We're going to use that semi-gloss. Like this bathroom, we're going to end up using semi-gloss white up there, and then we're going to use a semi-gloss will-o'-the-wisp on the walls. We're not using eggshell. So I'd have to look at all my notes. But see, when it's all said and done, I may not have enough 1 1/3 left, because I still have to paint all the door frames, all the casings, the baseboards, and the window stools, and this top bit here, top bit down there, this right here. Okay, I still have to do all that, and I've got quite a few ceilings to do. This bathroom, another, you know, 2 other bathrooms, and then there's another storage room. So, and then maybe the garage ceiling too. So you really think 1 1/3 gallons is going to be enough? When I'm at the store picking up the rest of my paint, guess what? I might just get another gallon of that. And then if I don't end up using it, I can always take it back. Whatever. Okay, so I'm just trying to give you some tips before you start your painting and figuring out everything for your project, you know. Had she have not liked this, see, we didn't have any other paint samples. I should have told her at the paint store, hey, pick your number 1 choice, your number 2 choice, and your number 3 choice. If she really liked this, she could have went down in the same color palette, down 1 lighter color, up 1 darker color, because initially she wanted something darker than this, and I said, I don't think you want to do that. Your walls are going to be that much darker, plus in small areas your room's going to feel like it's smaller. You want to keep your walls bright, you know what I mean, depending. And so had she have given me a number 1 choice, number 2 choice, number 3 choice, of course I would have 3 of them lined up, 1 there, and then the next one, boom, the next one, boom. And then she could stand back, she could look at it, and she'd think, you know what? I don't really like that first choice. I really like the second choice, or I really like the third choice. I'm glad you had me put 3 different ones on the wall for me. See? And it'll cost you $6 to make the actual color that you wanted for your walls. Think about it next time you paint. Yeah, so I'm getting ready to paint some flat interior ceiling flat is what it's called. Interior ceiling flat. Can you see that? Yeah, right there. And ultra pure white. This comes directly from the Home Depot. You don't have to put any color in it. All you have to do is shake it. Make sure if you see it on the shelf, don't just pick it up. You know, have them shake it. Because you'll be glad you did. Because if there's something on the shelf that's been sitting there for a while, you don't know. You may come and it might be lumpy or might have some other stuff in there, and then you've got to mix it and mix it and mix it, and maybe it's still not going to come out as good. You're still going to have lumps in it. You may have to strain your paint because they didn't shake it at the store. Just have them shake it. And I'm going to end up doing a few ceilings before I leave here, before I go back to Home Depot, because I've got to get some other paint. And so I thought I'd just do a nice little small ceiling, see if this is going to cover in 1 coat. Because I'm not quite sure if it's going to cover in 1 coat, because this is a tan, beige color, and I'm not quite sure. So I want to have enough time to put the paint on and then go do something else, let it dry, and then kind of look at it. You know, if it's still sunny outside, kind of look at it, or bring my construction light in here and kind of look at that. Or if I have any questions, have Momi come over here and say, okay, this is 1 coat. Are you going to be okay with that? And then maybe put a little bit extra on with the paint roller in the corner or something. Say that's 2 coats. You know what I'm saying? As a patch or something. I'm having a feeling I may have to paint this twice. I'm not quite sure. Okay, but before I actually get into the paint, I've got to take down my smoke alarm. See that? I don't want to cut around that. I want to take that down. It doesn't really take very long to take it down. The power's on to it because I see the little green light, and I happen to know which breaker it is in the garage. If you're not quite sure, you can have somebody back and forth. Is that the one? Is that the one? No, yeah, no, 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 no. Okay, there it is. And you do it cell phone to cell phone or something, so you don't have to scream all the way through the house or something. You could also take those out with the power. You just have to pull the little end clip off, and it should be okay. I've done it before, but I don't really like doing it with having hot wires, even though it has a little connection, because if you hold it just right or just wrong, you might get shocked. Okay, so the first thing I got to do before I paint this ceiling is do that. Actually, before I paint the ceiling, the first thing to do is go around, and I took my broom, I swept it all down. I swept all the ceilings down, the walls down, get the cobwebs off. You'd be surprised after who knows how many years that your walls and ceilings have not been wiped off, have not been painted. Maybe it's been 7 or 8 years, and you start brushing down your ceilings. You'll be surprised at all the stuff that comes down in your face. Okay, same thing with your walls and on top of your door frames. You know, so I did all of that, wiped down the top edge of the baseboards and did all that kind of stuff. And then I looked at this with the light on, got my construction light up here, saw if there's any little globs of anything that needed to be scraped off, or any little edges that needed to be cleaned around where the ceiling fan was, if it's dirty where the mark was. If you got any marks, clean those off with simple green and a brush or a rag or whatever. And so I've got this whole area all ready, other than taking that smoke alarm off. So that's the next thing I want to do.